It's the Binge Bum Podcast. Whoa, it's time to talk about our favorite shows from all the streaming networks all across the globe, from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and HBO. Get ready for fun and lots of show reviews. It's Binge Bum coming to you.
Hi guys, we're back after being a week off. It's Friday, June 4th, a milestone, Scott, episode 20.
Hey, that's pretty cool. We made it to 20 episodes.
Right. Yeah.
That's right. We were off last week because Dale and I decided to go down to Key West, Florida. Mm-hmm. Had a good time down there.
It was fun down there.
Didn't watch any TV.
None whatsoever.
None at all.
Which was good.
Which was real. Oh, no, that's not true. When you took a nap, I watched some Bravo.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But nothing streaming related.
Nothing new. Nothing. It was all repeats.
And to all of our listeners, if you felt a little lost last week, we're sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I'm sure they somehow found a way to survive without us.
All right. Well, let's get right into it, to the news, starting with Apple TV Plus. Apple announced Wednesday that it has renewed the Mosquito Coast for a second season, and this comes on the heels of the season finale, which drops today.
It drops today.
Well, it's already dropped.
Yeah, so we're going to definitely watch it tonight. Super, super excited about it. I keep calling it a slow burn because some of the episodes...
have said that a couple of times.
Some of the episodes are like, okay, let's get on with it. But it has been really good, too, at the same time.
Yes. So it's making me really wonder because as of now, we are caught up, and I can't think of where this show is headed right now. I don't know how. Sometimes you have an idea of where this could fall, and I don't.
Well, we talked about this before. Neither you or I have read the book that it was originally based on, Paul Theroux's book, and we didn't watch the movie from the 80s. So
right.
So we don't know the general story, although I think this one's going off in some different directions than those stories did.
Okay. I'm still enjoying it.
Justin Theroux is great in it. I mean, one second he's badass, and the next second he's peeing in his pants, literally. So, yeah, he's a very complicated character who's gotten his family into some major bullshit.
Right. And that's just now starting to come to light. Yeah. So we spent the majority of the entire season having no idea
what the fuck was going on.
Why the Fox family was on the run.
Right. It's interesting. It's interesting to see how all the different the members of the family react to the situation.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys should binge it. If you have nothing to do this weekend, just sit down and watch it all.
Yeah. So this came out a month and a half ago. So I expect maybe the same time frame next year for season 2. That's usually how it works, right? They kind of drop around the same time.
Who could say?
Yeah. Moving on.
They don't give us dates very much.
No, they don't.
They don't.
And moving on to some Netflix news. This one made me laugh when I was writing this up.
It made me sad.
The Netflix series Jupiter's Legacy will not be back for a second season. The series that starred Josh Duhamel and Leslie Bibb was about aging superheroes worried about passing the torch on to the next generation.
Yeah, I was just telling you before we came down to the studio that I follow Josh Duhamel on Instagram and Facebook, and he's posted a lot today about this news. Yeah. He's sad. He really wanted to go back and do a second season, and he said, "I'm available streaming networks," and he said Hulu.
Right.
So he would love to have another streaming.
I mean, when we first talked about this, probably a couple of months ago, this was on an upcoming show that we were looking forward to. I didn't have any high hopes for this thing. It was comical to me.
Well, and we have to say we have not seen the show. No. I've only seen the trailers. As much as I love Josh Duhamel, we've just been so busy with other stuff.
Yeah, it's
definitely on my list to check out, and I'm fine with one season.
Yeah, it might be worth a 1 or 2 episodes.
But apparently it also ended with a big cliffhanger. So can't Netflix just give them a movie or something? Can't they just have a wrap up?
Maybe. There's crazier things that have happened when fans demand and get behind something that the platform will break and give us one little final thing. So
now, of course, Netflix doesn't cancel things that are successful. They don't release ratings numbers like the networks and cable networks do, so we don't know how many people are watching something unless they tell us,
right.
and it's their prerogative.
Right.
So people just weren't behind this. There weren't enough viewers watching it, or they would have certainly greenlit another season.
Well, here's the thing. The creator, Mark Miller, does have another series in the pipeline at Netflix. The next creation will be it's a supervillain series called Super Crooks, a new series that will all be focused on the villains and not the superheroes that they will fight. So could be interesting. We've never seen a full series based on the villain side.
We have, yes, Gotham. That's what Gotham was all about on CW, right?
I don't know. I don't watch CW.
I think that's was Gotham on CW, or maybe it was on one of the networks.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's what Gotham really was. It was all about the bad guys. So, but this is good.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I want to see what Mark does with this. So
and
we'll check it out. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it once we find out more. The life story of Martha Stewart will be coming soon to Netflix. A Netflix spokesperson confirmed that they landed the rights last week. Much about the project is unknown, but Variety magazine has reported that it will likely follow Martha's life as a babysitter, which I didn't know. Teen model. I had no idea. Did you know that?
I knew all this.
Did you? The growth of Martha Stewart living Omnimedia and her 2004 prison sentence.
You left out that she was a stockbroker and a caterer. I mean, she's done a lot.
She's done a lot.
She's really done
more
a lot.
than I thought.
And is this where I say that I have a 1 degree away from Martha Stewart?
You do.
So my sister works for Martha Stewart and has worked for her for over 20 years.
For ages.
They're very close.
Yeah.
And my sister's worked on her books. She's worked on the magazine. She's worked on the radio show. She's worked on the TV show. She's been to all of Martha's houses.
Like, your sister has some crazy stuff like that. I remember, what was it, last year, maybe even longer, and I'll never forget it, that she had come to visit us. I don't know where we were living at the time. Her assignment was an article about how to make the best egg.
Yeah,
or something, the egg article.
That was her very first article for the magazine.
Oh, very first.
It was called Eggs 101,
yeah.
and I framed it, and she has it on the wall in her office.
Okay.
Not Martha, but my sister.
Right.
Yeah, no, she's had a long career, and I love Martha. I'm a huge Martha fan. We really enjoyed her series that she had on last year that she did under COVID restrictions on her farm with just 4 people.
And not only do you have a 1 degree story, but you also have your second cousin, who was on Martha's
the baking show.
The baking show.
Yeah, my cousin Catherine was a contestant and came. I think she was the second runner-up, or runner-up.
Runner-up, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So I got
that was
two relatives that have
not that long ago
worked with Martha.
Yeah.
That's right.
A fun fact about this documentary is going to be directed by R.J. Cutler, the same director who did Billie Eilish, The World is a Little Blurry for Apple TV+.
Yeah, which was really good. So we don't have a date for this yet?
Nope.
Okay.
No, it was they had just got the rights last week, so this is just now starting.
Well, I'm going to watch it. Yeah. I watch anything. I follow her on Instagram. I love her Instagram stuff. I think she's mellowed a lot in the last couple of years. She's become more friendly and happier, and I think she's just really...
She's got a lot going on. She keeps herself busy. She's like a Ryan Seacrest.
She never
stops.
Right. And the woman, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but she really does do all the stuff she says she does. She tends the garden. She gets out and mulches. She drives the tractor. She feeds the chickens. She collects the eggs. She does all of this stuff. Of course, she has a lot of help.
Right.
Because she's got like 4 different properties, but she does all this stuff. She is amazing. And she's in her 70s.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should just create a whole new podcast about Martha Stewart.
I think we need to start our own lifestyle brand, Dale.
Hey, Lindsay Lohan's returning to acting. Netflix announced that Lohan will be starring in a new romantic comedy where she would play a newly engaged and spoiled hotel heiress who finds herself in the care of a handsome blue-collar lodge owner. Lohan had a small stint on MTV, an MTV reality show called Lindsay Lohan's Beach Club. I remember this. I only think it lasted for a season or two.
It was a hot mess.
Yeah, but technically she has not been seen in a film since 2013.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Of course, Mean Girls is one of my favorite things that she's ever done. I also like the one where she switched bodies with her mother, played by blah 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 Curtis, Jamie Lee Curtis. Yep. That was really fun. She's great.
The Herbie movies.
She did the Herbie movies.
She was like a little kid then, right?
She did the Parent Trap remake. She was really good back in the days before I think she got into drugs and stuff and kind of lost her way for a while. Yeah. So I'm glad that she's coming back. See how it works out for her. Yeah. No date on that yet.
No date. Let's move on to some HBO Max news. A new true crime limited series titled The Staircase is coming soon to HBO Max. The new series is based on a docuseries of the same name, which is on Netflix. You and I have watched this docuseries. Mm-hmm. It tells the story of novelist Michael Peterson and the suspicious death of his wife, Kathleen Peterson.
This will be fun.
I enjoyed the docuseries, so I'm kind of wondering, is this going to fall directly in line with the other one, or is it going to be something completely different?
I don't know, but I like that it has Colin Firth in it, and Toni Collette. I love both of them, and Parker Posey.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Parker Posey fan, so that'll be fun for me.
And the reason why this kind of made news, I think this made news yesterday, is they just signed Sophie Turner as Margaret Ratliff, which is one of the Petersons' adopted children.
Got it. And of course, Sophie Turner was in the wonderful Game of Thrones, also at the same company, HBO. So, yeah, and she's also married to Joe Jonas.
Jonas.
Yeah.
Brother. Yeah, I do know that. I don't know which one.
Joe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll look forward to that. Again,
do you not remember The Staircase?
You saw me make a face. Yes. I kind of want to think I remember it, but it'll all come back.
It'll come back to you. Yeah. Moving on, HBO Max has ordered a 10 one-hour episodes for a new series, a new Green Lantern series.
Yeah.
The cast so far includes Finn Wittrock as Guy Gardner and Jeremy Irvine, who will play Alan Scott.
I don't know who Guy Gardner and Alan Scott are. I guess if I read the Green Lantern comic books, I would know who they were.
I think Guy Gardner is Green Lantern.
Okay, got it.
That is my understanding.
All right.
The filming is very, very, very early stages, so it'll be a while before we'll see this.
Cool. Well, superheroes are all the rage. They have been for the last decade, and there is no stopping superhero movies.
Another premiere and another outage. Continuing on at HBO Max, the outage was reported just as the finale of Mayor of Easttown was scheduled to air. This is the second reported outage in less than a week.
On HBO Max.
On HBO Max. It was reported that last Tuesday there was between a 2 and 3 hour outage for some subscribers.
Well, that's sad, especially if you had planned to watch it, and people really got into this series. I saw tons and tons of shit on Facebook about people kind of theorizing who did it, who done it, that kind of thing. We have not seen it yet.
We have not seen
Definitely want to watch it. It's on our list.
No.
Cannot wait to see it.
Well, the reason why we have not talked about it on this show is because it's an HBO original,
not
an HBO Max original.
Oh, I get it.
That's why we haven't really talked about it, but it's supposed to be super, super great. We should add it to our list, but that's why we haven't talked about it.
Well, and it's certainly going to be available on HBO Max.
It's usually available next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great. Great news for... Yeah, I guess they have to give something to the HBO subscribers who don't have HBO Max.
Exactly. And lastly, on Wednesday, HBO Max began rolling out its $10 a month ad-supported tier. Warner Media has said that there will be no more than 4 minutes of ads per hour. And this is just a reminder that the ads do not interrupt HBO original programming like Game of Thrones, Barry, Mayor of Easttown.
Sex in the City.
But Max originals like The Flight Attendant and stuff like that.
Got it.
It's a little confusing, but that's where we're at.
So it's $10. What are we paying?
$15.
Okay, so $5 more, you don't have to watch the ad.
Exactly.
It's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
Yeah.
So
it's the number one streamer. I think if you are counting your pennies and you have to pick one, HBO Max.
Some people are fine with watching the ads and they don't care.
No,
they're just used to it. We've grown
4 minutes per hour. That doesn't seem bad to me.
Yeah, we've grown up our whole lives watching friggin' ads, so people are used to it.
That's less than what you get on network on a 30-minute series.
Well, the thing is that besides watching the news in the morning over our coffee, we don't watch live TV ever. If we're going to watch something even on a broadcast network, we tape it and then fast forward through the commercials. So it is hard to watch commercials.
Yeah, but I think this is a good deal, and I think this is going to appeal to a whole nother broad section of audience, and that all the more reason why they need to get their act together with these outages, because they're supporting. Maybe they're just growing a lot faster than they anticipated. They're just trying to keep up. I think
all the streaming services are right. Yeah, so they're huge.
So that is the news. Even though we were off last week, we did have a chance to watch a couple of things. We watched one episode of Panic, a series on Amazon Prime, and the Friends reunion. Scott watched that. It's all coming up in Unqualified Opinions.
Unqualified Opinions.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well, we got to start with Panic, because that's the first one that we actually watched that all together, even with our house guest.
Yeah, Jacqueline was here, and we watched it, and it was kind of like a little mini movie.
Yeah, so we're talking about Panic. I believe this was on the watch list before we went on vacation.
Yeah.
We watched it just the other day. So this, if you don't remember, this is about a high school senior class, and every year they live in this town, which is
Carp, Texas.
Carp, Texas, which doesn't have a lot going for it. So all these kids, their number one thing when they graduate is they got to get out. And so they play this game. It's called Panic, and they put themselves in dangerous
crazy things,
situations to try to win this $50,000 prize
Yeah.
that will supposedly help them get out of this town.
Yeah, and of course all the adults in town and the police know about this, and they want to try to shut it down. But the kids are really good at evading the police and keeping their location secret.
Yeah.
And of course we get to know a couple of the different characters who are playing and vying for the $50,000 prize. Basically because I feel like these kids really want to improve their lives. So they really need this money to go, for further education or to get out of Carp, Texas.
Right.
Is Carp a real place?
I don't know.
Actually look that up to see if it was a real place. But
so what do you think?
Okay, so I told you this after we watched it. I thought it was a little predictable. I kind of knew I was one step ahead of the show, knowing exactly where it was going to go. Plus, there's kind of a bunch of stock characters who it's just kind of like, all right, I get it. You're that one. You're this one. Everyone has to have that character in a show. There was a couple I didn't believe, like the main character's mother. Just didn't believe her. But at the same time, I really enjoyed it. And I want to see where it's going to go. And I want to see what the next thing is these kids have to do.
That's what I was going to say. I said, it's almost like it's your typical teen drama. I mean, you could turn this on. You could turn on The Outer Banks. It's the same type of characters.
This show,
I think what we want to see more of is what they put themselves into.
This show could certainly be on something like the CW. It looks like that. I mean, these kids are cool and good looking as the kids on CW shows, but I could see this as a CW show. It kind of looks like that kind of thing to me.
Yes, for sure.
So the first episode is dropped.
They're all out.
Oh, they're all out. I forget. This is one of those things, Amazon Prime, where it all comes out at once.
Yeah.
So you can watch it. We've only watched the first episode.
Only watched one.
How many are there?
Don't ask me questions like that. I don't know. Probably 8 or 10.
No, I hate when you do that. You do that to me all the time. All right, so we're going to catch up on that. You guys check it out. And here's the thing I keep saying. We don't talk about Amazon Prime very much.
No.
But everybody in America has it, because if you're a Prime member of Amazon, and why wouldn't you be, you guys get to watch this. So if you're not taking advantage of that and watching the great shows on there, like The Handmaid's Tale, what's wrong with you, right?
Handmaid's Tale is not on Amazon.
Yeah, it is.
It's not. It's on Hulu.
Oh, same thing. Listen. Oh shit!
Oh god! You're going to be fired.
We're supposed to be the authority, authority on streaming video. Listen to me. Anyway, we did watch. This is old news for you guys because it came out a week or so ago. The Friends, the reunion special. You've read a lot about this, and if you haven't watched it yet, and you are a true Friends fan, I think you'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
It's an hour and 45 minutes long.
Wow.
It's not just a retrospective show. It's not just old clips, although there are some old clips. It's mostly about the 6 main characters getting back together. They've recreated all the sets.
Right.
And in the very first couple scenes, each one of them come onto the set one at a time and kind of like blown away. It's been 17 years since the last show.
Time.
Yeah. of course, Jennifer Aniston has not changed at all.
She
looks exactly the same. Everyone else looks a little different.
Yeah.
I would say David Schwimmer, who played Ross, looks pretty much the way he always has.
Yeah.
Lisa Kudrow, she hasn't changed much. But Courtney Cox has had a lot of work done. Matthew Perry, there's been a lot of talk about him because he just looked so off. He was slurring his words. He looked horrible. He's had a lot of problems with drugs and alcohol over the years.
Some abuse issues.
Yeah, he just seems like he's not all there.
Yeah.
And I hate saying that because I loved him, but he hasn't worked much lately.
Right.
And then, of course, Matt LeBlanc, who I absolutely love. If you guys didn't see him in his Showtime show called Episodes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
It was so friggin' good.
It didn't last, though, right?
It lasted 4 years.
Oh,
yeah. And he
canceled.
Played a heightened version of himself. He played Matt LeBlanc on the show. It was a really fun show.
Yeah.
You've never seen that? It's so good.
I saw maybe one or two. I didn't get into it, but I was wondering. See, I didn't watch this reunion. You did, and I was wondering if it was mentioned that on that day, was that the first day in forever for however long that they've actually seen each other and gotten together?
Well, Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox are best friends. They see each other all the time. They're at each other's houses all the time. So they've never not been together. Lisa Kudrow also has gone and done lots of things with. So the girls have all been together. They said in this special that only once in the last 17 years were all 6 of them in the same room at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was basically the second time they were all together.
And what was your thought on the weird? What we originally talked about were like out of place special guests.
Well, and ahead of time I knew that Justin Bieber was going to be in it, Lady Gaga, BTS, the South Korean boy band. And it's like, why are these people going to be in it? And basically they were kind of in it to show just tiny little second things saying, I love Friends. I've always loved Friends. It's one of my best shows. My favorite shows of all time. Blah, blah, blah. That's basically what they were there for. And Lady Gaga came on and sang a song with Lisa Kudrow as Phoebe, Smelly Cat, which was her favorite song. Yeah. So it was weird. That was weird. It's like totally wasn't necessary, but they also I thought they missed a lot of marks. They could have brought Brad Pitt on because that would have been fun because he had a great cameo in the show. Right. Aisha Tyler wasn't there at all, and she made huge history by being the only black character on the show, and she was not in the reunion at all.
I didn't know she was even in that show.
Oh, see, you aren't a true Friends fan.
No, I'm not.
Aisha Tyler played Charlie. She was Ross's girlfriend. She was in like 7 or 8 episodes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then, Tom Selleck was in there because he played Monica's boyfriend, Richard, for a season, and they gave him like 30 seconds of airtime. It was weird that these people weren't there more than I thought they should be. But overall, if you're a huge fan of the show, I think you'll get a real kick out of this.
And this is all hosted by James Corden, right?
James Corden is just kind of there. No, that's just a small portion of it.
Oh.
He did a little sit down with them in front of the iconic fountain where they did the beginning of the show.
Right.
But that's not the whole show. No, there's tons of other shit in there.
Right. You said they played like a trivia or some sort of game in the loft.
Yeah. So back in one of the original episodes, they played this trivia game in Monica and Rachel's apartment, and the winner got to stay in Monica and Rachel's apartment. Of course, the boys won, and the girls had to move to the boys' apartment, and the boys got to move into their apartment, and it was hosted by Ross. Well, they recreated that with questions to see if the actors remembered the answers to the questions. So that was kind of funny. Fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
They remembered most everything.
Yeah, so it's a must-watch. You recommend?
I definitely think it's a must-watch. And, of course, all the Friends episodes from 10 whole seasons are available on HBO Max. Wow. So there you go.
All right, we have a few news show announcements to tell you about. Hey, if you didn't know, it is June 5th. It is the beginning of the Pride Month.
It's June 4th.
June 4th. June is the beginning of Pride Month, and on the heels of that, we have Love, Victor Season 2, the series on Hulu, which will premiere June 11th. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a take on the big hit movie Love, Simon, which was huge. So this is a series they've created for that. It's nothing but it's a coming of age, coming out teen drama. That's pretty much it. But it's done really, really well, successful. It's coming out for season 2, June 11th. On Hulu.
Yeah, and you don't have to be gay to enjoy this series.
No.
It's not all in your face. It's actually really, really, really cute.
Yeah.
And the trailer makes the second season look really good. So
the trailer makes this season look a lot better than the previous one. This seems to have a little bit more comedy. It's more funny, more adult, slightly more adult comedy in this one.
And the main problem here that the characters are having in this season 2 is Victor's having problems fitting in because he doesn't quite fit in with the straight kids, and he doesn't quite fit in with the gay kids that he thinks are too gay. He's not
gay enough.
He's not straight enough for the straight kids. He's not gay enough for the gay kids.
Right.
And also there's some parents in here that are having problems with their kids coming out. So there's a couple parents who really have a problem with it, and there are a couple parents who are really dealing with it well, and then they figure it out.
Yeah.
Of course, Josh Duhamel was in the original movie.
Yeah, he was in the Love, Simon. He was the dad.
He was the dad.
Yeah. For all the kids out there, the new iCarly series is coming to Paramount Plus on June 17th. Basically, Carly Spencer is all grown up. If you watch the trailer in this, and I assume you did, I believe that there are a couple of swear words like damn and stuff like that.
They have grown up. Well, okay, so Carly is now almost 30 years old.
Yes.
And she's come back. iCarly was her web show that she did back in the day. This was a Nickelodeon series originally. And she became kind of an iconic teenage figure. Well, now she's decided to reboot her online show. She's now using a smartphone instead of a video camera. And it looks super cute. And let me tell you, Carly is played by Miranda Cosgrove, who basically looks exactly like she did back in the day.
Identical to what she did 10 years ago.
She's not aged at all.
No, not
but
at all.
She is almost 30 years old.
Right.
And this looks really cute. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of another Paramount series, Punky Brewster.
Yes.
Same time period. Bring it back. Let's see what these characters are doing now. Right. Kind of fun. There's been some controversy around this because back in iCarly, when it came out on Nickelodeon, she had her best friend was Sam, a white chick. That actress who played Sam is retired from acting. She decided not to be a part of this reboot. And they cast this black actress to play Carly's new best friend.
Right.
So she has a sidekick to bounce things off of. Well, the Twitterverse and the Instagram went bananas and thought that this black actress had pushed out the white actress, and there was a lot of racist crap that this chick went through, and she was called the N-word, and it was really horrible. But Miranda Cosgrove and the producers and Paramount Plus really stood behind the cast, and they're like, we're not, this is what it is, and you guys need to chill the frig out. Yeah.
It's just a show.
But it looks really cute.
It does.
I'm 50 years old, 51, but I used to watch this show because I used to watch Nickelodeon and Disney shows. Right. I used to watch, the show with the twins in the hotel.
Oh, the Sweet Life.
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, even though it was way below. It wasn't meant for me, but I still liked it. So I'm going to watch this because I loved iCarly. I thought it was really cute. Yeah. I watched Hannah Montana too. When are we bringing that back?
Oh, God. I don't know if that could come back with... I don't think she would do it.
Yes, she will. She embraces Hannah. She does. She is... We're talking about...
Hannah Montana. We're Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus. Of course, she's gone on to become an amazing singer. But she can still act. I think it would be fun. I think she could have so much fun for that. Yeah. And it could be dirty. She could be Hannah.
Like a more grown-up Hannah Montana.
It could be a really fun... She could have her dad on there. And because he was part of the original one.
Yeah. And her brother, who's like a rock star, too.
Sure. Why not? This could be a fun show.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's pitched it to her.
All right. We'll see.
We'll see if that happens. Okay.
You're taking this
Can I talk about this?
Yes.
Let's talk about teenage things. I love this. So I was a huge Gossip Girl fan on the CW when it was on originally, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's back. Gossip Girl is coming to HBO Max starting July 8th. Secrets are no fun unless they come from Gossip Girl, and she's back and badder than ever. And of course, Gossip Girl is voiced by one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood because she was Veronica Mars. Mm-hmm. Kristen Bell is back. She's the only one that's back. Everyone else is new. It's a whole new cast of characters living in New York, high society, and all the secrets and private school crap that goes on.
Right.
It looks very adult, but they're teenagers, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the original Gossip Girl also had, I think, a weird audience. I think adults liked it, right? Like the 20-somethings, even though it was about a freaking teenager.
Yeah, absolutely. It was huge. So I'm excited. I'm glad Kristen. I just love listening to Kristen Bell's voice. So
you are nuts. Yeah. All right, those are our announcements for this week. We have what you should watch this weekend and are up next.
XOXO.
We're gonna tell you what to watch this week. It's time for Up Next.
All right, so we're now going to talk to you about what's coming up. We've talked about this in the past. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. It's a film from HBO Max. It drops today, June 4th. This is kind of, what do they call it? Anthology? This is like the fourth Conjuring movie.
Correct.
And this one is finally here. We're going to follow Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're paranormal investigators. And they've got some evil that they need to deal with.
Right.
And
another fun fact about this, and I don't know the deep down details of the previous Conjuring films. Mm-hmm. However, this one is like loosely based on a true story. Like Ed and Lorraine Warren, who this film focuses on,
are real people.
Are real people who are paranormal investigators, per se. So that's kind of cool.
All right, so after you watch the final episode of Mosquito Coast, you can turn on The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It on HBO Max. I like it. What else are we watching this weekend?
Also, dropping today on Apple TV Plus is the new series Lizzie's Story. This is a series that will be based on a novel by Stephen King. So that's going to tell you a lot right there.
Yes.
It's going to star Julianne Moore.
Love her.
Clive Owen. And it follows Lizzie Landon, Julianne Moore, as a series of disturbing events, kind of revives her memories from her marriage to author Scott Landon, Clive Owen, and the darkness that's kind of plagued him. It's just very dark and creepy, what you kind of would expect from a Stephen King film.
Of course. Well, we'll check that out. I like both of them, Clive and Julianne. Julianne was just on like Live with Regis and Kelly. Yeah, it's not Regis anymore.
Like yesterday
Kelly and
or
Ryan.
This morning? Yeah.
So she's promoting this, and it looks good. I like everything that she's been in, so this will probably be good. And, of course, Stephen King is the master. I'm taking this next one. I don't care what you say. I'm super excited about this. One, Dale and I both love dogs. We are advocates of rescuing dogs.
Yes.
So we're excited about that. This is Vanderpump Dogs. It's going to be on Peacock starting June 9th, which is next Tuesday or so?
Something like that, yeah.
Vanderpump Dogs follows the stories behind the sweetest and most outrageous dog adoptions at the renowned pet adoption shop in West Hollywood. Now, of course, this is owned by the one and only restaurateur in Hollywood. That's Lisa Vanderpump. She's been on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. She is, of course, overrules everyone on Vanderpump Rules. She's been on her own new series called Overserved lately. I love her to death, mostly because of what she does for dogs.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell everyone out there who is listening, go to YouTube, find this trailer, and look at this place. I mean, this is a place that you even want to go to visit. They literally put prospective adopters on a couch, and they bring out these dogs. She even said that it's kind of like matchmaking for people, but for dogs. But this place is like immaculate. They got their own. They're not kennels. They're not in a cage, but they are cordoned off.
A little play area where people can get to know the dogs.
It's the kind of place that I've always said that if I had all the money in the world, that could be a place that I would want to kind of have. And dogs.
So. No, that would be amazing. Yeah. And they've adopted out over 2,000 dogs, which is incredible. Lisa also does a lot of great work for the animals cruelty, the dog cruelty in China. Yeah. Where they eat dogs during that the dog meat festival. She's crusaded against that her entire adult life, which I think is wonderful. So she, you might think she's just a fluffy socialite. She's not. She's an amazing businesswoman. Yes, she lives over the top, and yes, she spends crazy amounts of money on silly things, but she's doing really, really good things.
She's doing good work
for a lot of lives.
Right.
So we're super, super excited about that. And I'll be checking out. This is a new series on Peacock. So
June 9th. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Binge Bum Podcast. If you like our show, be sure to rate us wherever you like to listen to your podcast, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys. Have fun binging your favorite shows.